Hello, this is Kevin Culley with Culley Technologies, and I'm going to be talking about running Xojo on Linux. I was recently at the Xojo Developers Conference in Las Vegas, and was hearing a lot of Linux and Mac developers, Xojo developers, talking about Linux distributions and, what distribution to choose, and that was also confusing, and that was the market was all fragmented, and that they were perceiving a lot of difficulty in getting their Xojo applications running on Linux. And I felt like I wanted to make a little two-part video about getting Xojo to run on Linux and the difficulties that is, or more importantly, the lack of difficulties in getting Xojo to run on Linux. So to begin, I want to talk about a little bit about what is a distribution. What is a Linux distribution? I've got a little graphic here. Talk about what is a distro. Now, obviously, we've got some hardware down here. That might be a sensor, it might be a refrigerator system, or it might be a PC or mainframe that you've got that you want to run Linux on. So on top of that, obviously, we're going to have a distribution. So what does that mean? Well, let's first start with the GNU Linux kernel. That's the basis of Linux. Truly, this is Linux. This doesn't change that much, especially not what we're concerned with. This is very, very stable. This is what runs on top of our hardware, really no user interface. On top of the kernel is a base. This might be the beginning of the distribution. Might be Debian, might be Arch, might be Red Hat itself. These are typically bases of Linux that other distributions might be built on top of. Then on top of the base is the display layer. That might be GNOME, might be KDE, might be LXDE, might be XFCE, might be Cinnamon, might be another display layer. And then obviously on top of the display layer, bundled with the distribution, are the applications. Might be file manager, might be a sound player, might be a browser like Firefox or Chrome. And all these things get bundled in together, and that bundle is what a distribution is. Now, why are there so many? Well, it's because somebody says, it's like, I want to bundle this up my way. Might be a change in the applications, might be a change in the display layer, might be a different base to start with, but this is Linux. Okay, now what I equate this with is, people say, why are there so many distributions? Let me equate that or make an analogy to hamburger chains. There's McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, Sonic, Checkers, In-N-Out Burger, Steak and Shake, Five Guys, Dairy Queen, Hardee's, just name a few. Now, why are there so many hamburger chains? Well, it's because different people like the different hamburger chains. Or somebody goes to a hamburger chain and says, I could do a better job of selling hamburgers than this current chain. And so the bottom line is, why are there so many hamburger chains? Is because the market demands it. If there wasn't a market, the hamburger chain would go out of business. Well, why are there so many distributions? Well, because the market demands it. Somebody saw an opportunity and said, this distribution's not meeting my needs for whatever reason. And so they go out and they might bundle different applications, or they might create a new display layer that they feel works better. Maybe they even create a new base built on top of Linux, and so they put together their own distribution. Somebody out there is saying, I can do it better. So in part two, We're going to be taking a look at several distributions and see what the themes are, see what it looks like, and we'll build some Xojo applications. Hopefully you can look at these video series and say, yeah, I want to expand my user base, or I want to expand into a new market and gain new customers. And hopefully at the end, you'll see that Linux distributions, that it's very doable, it's very easy with Xojo, and might expand your business. So take care, and we'll see you in part 2.